Hello again. You know how we constantly get these polls, and if Donald were the nominee, he'd lose to Hillary, but if John Kasich were the nominee, he'd possibly beat Hillary, or if Teddy Cruz were the nominee, he'd beat Hillary. I got a couple of questions. We just found out that Bernie Sanders trounced Hillary in Washington at 72.7%, in Hawaii at 71%, and in Alaska at 81.6%. It was a clean sweep, as they say. We also know that the turnouts for the Democrats are insignificant in comparison to the turnouts for the Republicans, especially for the Donald. The Donald, wherever he goes, is standing room only. That isn't the same for Hillary. And with Bernie winning 15 primary contests, what does that say about Hillary? So the question that I have is, how is it possible that these polls constantly show Donald losing to Hillary when Hillary isn't doing all that well against Bernie? She'll probably be the nominee because of the number of delegates, but so what? What are the people in Washington, in Hawaii, in Alaska, and in 12 other primary contests telling the Democratic Party and the American people? What they're saying is they're not enthralled with Hillary. I can't say I blame them. I mean, here you've got a candidate that's got indictments hanging over her head. Here you've got a candidate that you know lied endlessly to the American people. She lied about Benghazi. She lied to the families of those that were slain in Benghazi. She lied to the American people about Benghazi, but so did the chosen one, that freak at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He went to the United Nations, about 2 weeks after the event in Benghazi, and he still said it had to do with the video. When the morning after 9/11/12, Hillary contacted the Prime Minister in Egypt and said she knew the video had nothing to do with it. They had Susan Rice go on 5 national shows over a 5-day period lying to the American people. Folks, Fox News and all the other media, they're lying to you. Donald is knocking it out of the park. You can see by the rallies. You can see by the turnout. You can see by the number of states that he's won. And Ted? A perfect name for Ted. Lion Ted. It's a perfect name. Lion Ted. You know, I did a video and I talked about an organization. They took 98 comments that Ted made. Statements that he made. Only 6% were truthful. The man doesn't know how to tell the truth. He's lying about his birth. He's lying about his citizenship. He gave up his Canadian citizenship in 2014, yet he's a U.S. Senator in 2012. The United States doesn't recognize dual citizenship. How insane is all of this? He needs to be disbarred the same way that Michael was disbarred and Barack was disbarred. He needs to lose his law license for lying. I don't know, folks. The media is in the tank for the GOP. They can't stand Donald because they know Donald will change America back to the great country that it once was, that it no longer is. Obama spent the last 7.5 years dismantling America. Everything that he touches, he's destroyed. And our Congress, the House of Representatives, they should have drawn up rules of impeachment a long time ago. But they haven't. And they won't. You know why? Because jackasses like Paul Ryan are all in the tank. Paul Ryan's no different than John Boehner. Think what you like, folks. I do.